It's a Saturday. And we'll have time in the middle for a nice long tea break where we can connect and talk and explore the themes that are happening in the class. So she will share on the cultivating emotional balance that she does, and I'll share on Tara. We'll do some meditation and mantra on Arya Tara, the Buddha of compassion. So she'll be sort of more of the Western piece. I'll be sort of more of the Eastern piece, if you want to put it that way. So it'll be nice. Day of working with the heartbreak. I think it's called broken heart or something, like challenging emotions. If you want to work with your challenging emotions, you can come have fun with us. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you about is, maybe some of you already know this if you're on my newsletters or follow my Instagram and all that stuff. I am starting a long-term, like a 9-month total online program where we cover the whole trajectory of the 21 Taras. So the material that's in my book that recently came out, called Embodying Tara, 21 Manifestations to Awaken Your Innate Wisdom. So I'm taking the material in that book and expanding it. And we'll practice together. We meet, for the most part, every week. We take a big break during the summer, but it runs from April 25th through December 12th. But there's like a month and a half during the summer where we're not meeting at all. And if you miss the classes, you can watch them afterwards. So it's okay if you can't be there. It's every Thursday. You can always find out more of what I'm offering if you go to my website, which is just my name, chandraeaston.com. Easy. And all my events are there. How many people have been to my website or on the newsletter? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. So if you want to study more and build community and come to my events, get on that newsletter, check out my website. It's all there. And I do a lot of online stuff that you might not know about here at the Alembic. Okay. Any questions, comments about that? Okay, let's get started. So on your handout, you have 2 handouts, I think, right? Did you all get 2? No? Just one? Well, you guys have the right one for now, which is the prayer. And we can get you another one if you want the slogans. We can get you that later. Okay, so look at the sheet with the prayer on the top, and we do our opening prayer every class. It's the Sharana prayer to Narayani from the Devi Mahatmya. It's in Sanskrit, and the English translation is below. We'll do 11 repetitions tonight. All right? So people who come regularly tend to just naturally memorize it. A lot of folks have it memorized now. We do it at the beginning of every class, and it's honoring, really, the way I feel it is honoring the Great Mother, but in terms of like the womb of totality, shunyata as this kind of genetrix of the awakened state, honoring that divine creative potential within all of us, within the universe, unifying with that through prayer and devotion. So if you would like, you can read the English as we chant in Sanskrit and then join in with us when you're ready to. All right, so let's close our eyes and situate ourselves. Take a few deep breaths, settling in, releasing tension with the out breath, all of these wonderful tools we have with meditation. It's like we're switching the channel, quieting and turning inward, and noticing any areas of tension that you might be unaware of in your normal activities. See if you can breathe into any areas that feel tight or stuck, and then release with the out breath, soften. And as we relax, we release into a quality of presence, being in the moment with your body and the breath. And arousing our motivation for our time together, the bodhicitta motivation, this bodhi, awakened chitta, heart mind, this aspiration to awaken for the benefit of everyone, for yourself and for your enemies. Like, embrace everyone. We're here to heal and to help in some way, even if it's just through letting them go. The people that we normally don't want to bring into our sphere. We can pray that we develop this heartfelt capacity to be able to wish all beings well, recognizing that we're all tied up in each other's karma, for better or for worse. It's true. In some way, if I'm not free, you're not free. If you're not free, I'm not free. That's the bodhicitta, the depth of interdependence and compassion. And with this vast motivation, it said vast results come. If you have a small motivation, then small results come. And then also before formal practice, it's helpful to give thanks and gratitude for your ancestry, not just biological, but also karmic, spiritual, your teachers, your mentors, all those wonderful and challenging people who have brought you and helped you come into this very place in this moment. Give thanks. Even name them internally to yourself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then also situating ourselves on the land that we're on right now. In this moment, with this breath, we are on the land of the Lisjan Haloni, and recognizing that something happened here and something continues to happen here. And acknowledging and aligning ourselves with what is true. And that may we in some way not contribute to the pain that's already been caused for so long. And so we enter this portal or temple of practice through gratitude, through honoring our ancestors, situating ourselves on the land, cultivating our heartfelt motivation. And then now we ask for the blessings of the divine, that energy that's greater than us in some way, more expansive. We open ourselves to it and let that pour into us. Bless us so that our practice brings fruit. I'll say the first line, you can repeat and so on, and then we'll do 11 reps together. Sharanagata dinarta, Sharanagata dinarta, Paritrana parayane, Paritrana parayane, Sarvasyarti Hare Devi, Sarvasyarti Hare Devi, Narayani Namostute, Narayani Namostute, together. Sharanagata dinarta, Paritrana parayane, Sarvasyarti Hare Devi, Narayani Namostute. Sharanagata dinarta, Paritrana parayane, Sarvasyarti Hare Devi, Narayani Namostute. Sharanagata dinarta, Paritrana parayane, Sarvasyarti Hare Devi Narayani Namostute. Sharanagata Dinartha Paritrana Parayane. Sarvasyarti Hare Devi Narayani Namostute. Sharanagata Dinartha Paritrana Parayane. Sarvasyarti Hare Devi Narayani Namostute. Sharanagata Dinartha Paritrana Parayane. Sarvasyarti Hare Devi Narayani Namostute. Sharanagata Dinartha Paritrana Parayane. Sarvasyarti Hare Devi Narayani Namostute. Sharanagata Dinartha Paritrana Parayane. Sarvasyarti Hare Devi Narayani Namostute. Sharanagata Dinartha Paritrana Parayane. Sarvasyarti Hare Devi Narayani Namostute. Sharanagata Dinartha Paritrana Parayane. Sarvasyarti Hare Devi Narayani Namostute. Okay, let's open our eyes. We're going to do a little movement on your seat. I call this, there's an old practice, a chud, severance practice in Tibetan Buddhism called liberation in one seat. If some of you know this, right? So my joke is this yoga sequence, you can do it all in your zabuton. It's like liberation in one zabuton. You just don't have to put your yoga spandex on for it either. Okay, so straighten your legs. And those in the chairs, you can sit down temporarily if you can, or just stay in the chair and modify as best as you can. So we're actually going to start with the toes tonight. Okay, you're looking at my feet. I'm embarrassed. I looked at the YouTube video and I'm like, oh my God, they're looking at the soles of my feet. Should wear socks. Okay, so just start with your toes. 1, 2, 3. So only your toes, Katie. Only your toes. Isn't that fun? This is good for your nerves. Yeah, it's sometimes you find, here I am doing this. You don't have to do this. I don't know why I'm doing that. Yeah, isn't it interesting? Can you tell, is one foot easier than the other to do? Yeah. Okay, you can do 10 or whatever. Usually it's like 10 each, but it's so fun. We're doing more. All right, so now flex, stop the toe thing. Now you're going to just point the whole foot, right foot, left foot. So you're flexing and pointing, alternating. Really, really work your calves, work your legs. Also, the position with the torso is important. Put your hands by your sides or behind you a little bit and lift your chest. Pretend you're in an Iyengar yoga class and you're like, who's done Iyengar? Iyengar's really big on the lift the chest, stand up straight. But it's nice. It's good to train yourself in a good posture, especially in this day and age, right? All right, so now flex both feet. We're going to go, I say counterclockwise, to your left. Do circles with the foot, both feet together. 4, 5, 6, sit up straight. 8, 9, 10, and reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. You guys are doing so well. Okay, cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Take your left fingers, left fingers, interlace them if you can in between the toes. See what I'm doing? I'm like weaving my fingers in between the toes. Stabilize the ankle with your right hand. If you have socks on or you can't do it, you just grab the top of your toes. All right, let's crank. We'll do 10 reps. 1, 2, 3. And I like to be efficient here. So I also massage the calf, get the circulation going while you're rotating the ankle. 9 and 10. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other foot is flexed. Don't go too flaccid in the other foot. Yeah. 9, 10. Other side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And reverse. Really crank the ankle. You're wanting to stimulate the circulation in the extremities here. Because when we sit, the lymph and the blood pool in the lower part of the body. Okay. Shake it out. Good. Okay. All right. What was I thinking? Wearing a skirt. Okay, so interlace the fingers again through the foot. And do what Kevin does. See, you're going to make your foot parallel with the floor. I feel like I'm going to flash you if I do it. And then start stirring like a cauldron. Yeah, very good. Yeah, and your other hand, your right hand is underneath your thigh, supporting that right thigh. Yes. And reverse. Good. You're making your soup. What you're doing is you're facilitating mobility in the hip joint. Good. And then straighten. Other side. Interlace. And then grab the bottom of the thigh with that left hand. Lift the calf. Follow Kevin. 1, 2, 3. You're doing good. Let the shin, those people in the back, let your shin really be parallel to the floor. So more, yeah, exactly. So it's really happening at the hip joint. Okay. And reverse. Good. Sitting up straight. And then that must be 10. Okay, shake it out. So now you're going to come into a comfortable cross-legged position if you can, or zazen, or sitting in a chair. If lotus is possible, take lotus. If not, don't sweat it. Not a big deal. Just cross your legs or find another version of a comfortable seat, okay? Sit up nice and tall. You can put your hands on your feet or on your thighs. We're going to work the top of the body down to the base. Release the chin and then move to the right, circle, around, down to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do 10 tonight. 5. Listen to the body. Don't go too big or strong if your neck is sensitive. 8, 9. Relax the shoulders and the jaw. 10. And reverse. 1. You can feel like you're drawing a circle on a mirror in front of you with your nose. So you can just even do more lateral circles. Don't do too much if it hurts. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Coming to center. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, relax. Good. Take the palms of your hands, the crease of your hips. Press the palms down, like really take a moment here and press. Yeah, you might want to get up on a cushion. Yeah, it'll be better for your knees and your low back. Yeah, that's going to be more comfortable. Yeah, like if you're on the floor and your knees are higher than your hips, then get on a cushion. And then place the hands here. We're going to do the shoulders. So come forward, up, back and down. 1, 2. And as you hit the apex of the circle, press down at that marma point. It's a vital junction where the blood circulates in and out of the legs. 9, 10, and reverse. 1, good. 2, breathing, just natural breath. It's not a big ujjayi breath, but you can, if you like to do the yogic breathing, that's fine. But it's just a natural, even breath when you're doing these warm-ups. It's called the Dasha Chalanam, the 10 churnings, churning the different joint sites of the body. Let's do the elbows today. Bring the back of the hands together. And then roll them in, keeping the back of the hands kissing as much as possible as you offer, and then you roll around the circumference of the wrist. Keep the shoulders down, sit up nice and tall. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Relax the face. Breathe into the belly, and 10. Now reverse. 1, 2, good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, breathstroke. 1, and we cut across the waist. 2, we come around, we cut forward. 2, 3, 4, keep going. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, really open the chest. 10, and then reverse. Cut across the waist, wind around. You're really turning from the shoulders and bringing the back of the hands together, right? So we go here, here, then roll, cut back, and here. Boom, like that, yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, breathing, 9, and 10. Now hands together. Bring the palms together, interlace the fingers. Notice the shoulders. Are you like this? Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe into the belly. Now position the wrists right in front of the eyes. Okay, so don't be down here or up here. They're right in front of your eyes, and you're going to meditate on the wrists. You're just going to, nothing's going to take your gaze away. You're going to relax the face and hypnotize yourself with the movement that's called the 2 cobras mating. The forearms are gliding by each other a little bit. Nice. The ridge of the shoulders relaxed. You don't have to press the forearms kissing too close together. They're just, they're mating. They're just relaxed. And reverse. And then come down. Now relax the hands. We helicopter to the right. You're going to go to your right. I'm not mirroring you. And you're love tapping. The gentle love taps. The front hand taps the front shoulder. The back hand taps the back kidney region. Getting movement through the central axis. Spinal column. We are as young as our spine. We have to stay mobile in the spine. Huh? I didn't hear that. Somebody complaining about their spine. Yeah. Me too. I could complain. We can commiserate afterwards. Or we can just be in the moment and make a new story. And last time to your left, then come back. Hands on the thighs. Feel that spiraling energy. Breathe into the belly. Exhale. And now start to move the navel. Start small. Like, isolation movements, like in belly dancing, just really keep the energy nice and consolidated around the navel and the central channel, the spine. And then reverse. Good, good. You're waking up the kundalini, the sleeping serpent, the heat. And then come to center. Now you're going to wave forward and back like seaweed in the ocean. It's the waves of the kundalini. That's the way they move. As that serpentine energy that is coiled at the base of the spine starts to wake up, there's a wave-like movement through the spine sometimes. Sometimes you're just still. In any case, You're loosening up the pelvis, the sacrum, the spine, all the way up, even a few more, and let the head go. Notice if you're holding the head stiff. Let the neck be a part of that spinal movement. Good. Last one. Come to center. Exhale. Yeah, don't turn the heat up too high. Last week, people were falling asleep. It was so warm. What is the temperature now? Yeah, I think maybe that's too high. Maybe 71 is good, right? Yeah.
68, keep them awake.
Is that what the saying is? Yeah, that is so funny. We never have it that hot. And last week we had it hot and people were yawning. If you had my perspective, you would have seen there's like people who are like, it's hard to teach to a room that's falling asleep. Okay, so now this is your last and final move. This is going to give you some core strength and really engage the core. We have different variations. So the folks in the lotus, in a way, you sort of have an easier time. What's a harder time? In some ways, you press the hands down next to the thighs. Everybody does it like this. The thumbs are pointing forward. And you're going to lift as you exhale, lift. I'm a little shy here with my skirt, but you just lift totally up as high as you can and lift the knees. Now, for those of us who aren't in lotus, you can come into like Siddhasana, this kind of Burmese meditation style pose with the heels one in front of the other. And as you exhale, you press down and you engage the core and just lift the hips off the ground and then look up. So you're really, and lift the Mula Bandha, like get your, the pelvic floor lifted and then come down. We'll do two more. Inhale and then exhale as you engage and lift. It doesn't have to be a big dramatic movement. You're building strength, tractioning the low spine. And then come down. One more time. Exhale. And then coming down. Release the feet from a cross position. Inhale, cross the arms. Exhale, ba, ba, like that. Exhale and ba like a sheep. Inhale, two more. Shake out the chest, shake out the lungs. Inhale, last one, don't hold back. Good. Inhale, and then exhale. That concludes the Dasha Chalanam. Dasha means 10, Chalanam means churning. Chalanam. It's a variation of standing Dasha Chalanam. People who do Qigong, Tai Chi, you'll also be familiar with this type of practice. It's a very common theme. It's nice to do before you meditate. Okay, so now we're shifting into meditation. So make sure you have everything you need to be comfortable. Take, 30 seconds or so to get your cushion or a sip of water or we're going to sit for about 40 minutes tonight. So make sure that you are set up to sit and just know that the emphasis is, yes, once you lock in, stay and try not to move. Fidgeting is not allowed, okay? You can move, but don't fidget. And if you have to move, do it mindfully, like slow, so that you don't lose that train of mindfulness, that tracking quality. Okay, so you're allowed to move, but not too much. I might move. I might have to go to a lying position because I'm still working through some karmas. So again, lying, standing, seated, walking, these are the 4 primary ways the Buddha said we can practice mindfulness. So work with your circumstances, find your comfortable place, and then allow the eyes to close. Tonight, just like last week, I will guide you through some breathing, and then we'll do a Guru Yoga practice. I'll guide you through visualization of receiving the blessings from your guides, your teachers. And then we'll rest the mind in its natural state for a while, open awareness. And then we'll end with Donglen, ascending and receiving compassion practice. So that's the survey of the terrain tonight. Again, coming home to yourself with each breath, feeling how are you right now? What's here right now? And in one way, release everything you can that is keeping you from being here. You may still feel some tugs and pulls from your life out there. And really say to yourself, I don't need to give that energy right now. This is my space. I'm claiming my boundary. The tsum in Tibetan is a word for retreat. It means boundary. This room is a boundary, but also the inner boundary of your own mind. Claiming this time for yourself as a nourishing time. And now I'll guide you through a breathing exercise called resonance breathing. It's a pranayama practice that helps to balance the nervous system, calm the vagus nerve. It's a wonderful tool to use before meditation or anytime. Before we engage in the resonant breathing, just simply become aware of the breath. And as you inhale, feel the belly expanding forward. And as you exhale, feel the belly drawing back towards the spine. Inhale, the belly moves forward. Exhale, the belly draws back. Inhale, belly forward, relaxing the belt line. Exhale, the belly gently draws back without forcing, relaxing. One more time like this. Just simply feeling the inhale, the diaphragm descends, the abdomen expands forward. Exhale, the abdomen draws back, the diaphragm rises to help the lungs push the air out. Good, so maintaining this feeling, we're going to do a breathing pattern, pranayama, with 4 counts inhaling, 2 counts holding the breath in, and 6 counts exhaling. And if at any time this doesn't work for you, if you feel tension building, feel free to relax and just breathe at your own pace. You can shorten the sequence to like 3, 1, and 5, you see? But let's try to stay together if it's comfortable. Let's stay together. So let's all exhale together. And now inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold in. 1, 2. Gently exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold in. 1, 2. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Releasing. Inhale. Let the breath naturally flow in. 3, 4. This holding is like a drifting before it descends. Exhale. 2. So don't have it be stiff or angular. The breath is circular. 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding. 1, 2. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now continue at your own pace, internally counting at your own pace in silence. Breath is longer. Feel free to lengthen. You can do 5, 3, and 7. But don't push. Don't push it. Be natural. Relaxation is the main theme. Two more rounds. Now release any control of the breath. Completely switch off the controlling mind and just swim, bask in the afterglow. Natural breath, mindfulness now, meaning no control, just being with the breath however it is. Don't let the mind drift. keep the mind tethered here in the body, attending to the breath, a feeling of spaciousness but alertness. Now, from this deeper space, this space of relative ease and quiet, I'll guide you through a very common, essential practice in the Lojong teachings called Guru Yoga, where we merge our mind with the mind of our enlightened teacher. This can be a real person, or it can be a Buddha, Bodhisattva, a deity, a guardian, an angel. So first, imagine that above the crown of your head is this very special being with whom you feel so much connection and inspiration. Again, it can be an archetype, or it can be a real teacher you've had or have. And they're floating in space above the crown of your head, seated on a lotus atop a moon disk. So a flat, full moon disk is like the platform. So it's seated in this beautiful, luminous lotus and moon seat. Your root teacher, you could say, the Tsawe Lama, the root guru, is seated on this lotus, a being of light, joy, benevolence. And really feel that this being's body is radiant. And their face is happy and smiling, regarding all beings with a non-referential compassion, just emanating in all directions, including your direction. And feel that this teacher, this being, is the embodiment of all of your teachers that you've ever had. It's called the soul refuge. This being has all of those qualities within them. And even if you're just feeling light or a feeling of buoyancy, of expansiveness, that's fine. It doesn't have to be a clear image. And with intense respect and devotion, there's a little prayer that I'll offer just 3 times tonight. I pray for your blessing, my teacher, great and completely worthy spiritual friend. I pray that you will cause love, compassion, and bodhicitta to arise in my mind. If you want, you can even bring your hands together in prayer. I pray for your blessing, my teacher, great and completely worthy spiritual friend. I pray that you will cause love, compassion, and bodhicitta to arise in my mind. I pray for your blessing, my teacher, great and completely worthy spiritual friend. I pray that you will cause love, compassion, and bodhicitta to arise in my mind. Releasing the hands down. Then imagine that this being of light descends down through the aperture of Brahma, the crown aperture, down through the central channel, and sits in a pavilion of light in the center of your heart chakra. Like an open shell, this pavilion of light holds this luminous being, the embodiment of love, wisdom, compassion. And feel this union, that this being is, this energy is unified with your own mind. That in fact you've never been separate from the enlightened mind of the teacher, the Buddha, Krishna, Brahma, Jesus, Mother Mary. It doesn't matter. That feeling of immeasurable love is now within you in your heart space. This is what's called Guru Yoga. Yoga, union, yoking, unifying the mind with the Guru, the spiritual friend. And then now, after this practice, we sit with our body nice and straight, chest buoyant, shoulders relaxed, breathing in and out, returning back to this quality of awareness, tethered gently to the in and the out breath. And we'll count to 21 breaths as a way to stabilize and build shamatha, calm abiding, concentration. The practice is commonly done where you inhale, internally count 1, and exhale, and so on. If you lose count, then just start back at the beginning. It's just a way to help you be here now with the breath and the body. In silence, count from 1 to 21. Now releasing any counting. And slowly open the eyes, gazing at a comfortable angle down towards the floor. Soften the gaze. Feel free to blink whenever you need to. Feel the muscles of the face soften. And shifting now into settling the mind in its natural state, where the breath is still an anchor, but it's not the primary focus. We're shifting that primary anchor to the domain of the mind itself. You may be new to meditating with the eyes open, so be patient with yourself. Feel free to blink if you need to. Relax the jaw, sitting up nice and tall, belly relaxed, the hips relaxed. And draw the chin slightly in towards the chest, lengthening the back of the neck. As we shift this domain of focus into the space of the mind itself, it's as if you could see thoughts arise, abide, and then pass away. Being mindful of thoughts, feelings, sensations. And releasing any fixation or tendency to cling or grasp at these thoughts, feelings, sensations. Releasing, grasping with the exhalation. Come back to this open, spacious, relaxed awareness, clear and wakeful. And as soon as you notice a thought or distraction arising, relax and open back into this quality of settling the mind in its natural state, as it is, in its natural limpidity, its natural clarity. And we'll rest in silence. And now allow the eyes to close, resting the eyes, yet feeling the no difference between the outer and the inner space. Just feel that quality of spaciousness pervade you, surround you, expand, limitless. And for the last few minutes of our meditation, we will practice a compassion practice called Donglen, sending and receiving. And returning to this feeling of luminosity at your heart. This is the home of your spirit, your Buddha nature, that luminosity that we all have within that heart chakra, the seat of the soul. And just breathe in and out, breathing into that heart space, enlivening it, illuminating it, breathing out, releasing any tension or tightness around the heart space, the lungs, the ribs. Inhale. It's like you're aerating or breathing air into that little flame at your heart. And with each breath, it glows and grows. So first we feel this luminosity at the heart. This is your home base. Breathing in and out to the heart center. Often we don't really live in this place. We're in our head or out of our body. Can you bring your awareness into your heart space as you breathe into it, feeling this orb of light growing within your heart chakra. Breathing out, releasing fear, resistance. And feel that this orb of light, this, we'll call it Buddha nature for now, this essence of awakened mind within you, is undying, unborn. Nothing can harm it. It's beyond duality, space-time. And then imagine now, with this compassion practice of Donglen, we breathe in the suffering of the world or of an individual. Breathe into the heart space as if you're helping to relieve the suffering. It transforms at your heart. And then breathe out the remedy, well-wishing prayer of peace, freedom from suffering, whatever you intuitively want to wish for a group of people, a person, this heartbreak. We can work with it by breathing in, like the suffering in the Middle East, or Sudan, or in our backyard, or even in our own heart. Breathe it in with the in-breath, welcome it home, transform it, and breathe out the sincere wish like a cool wind, clearing the strife, the heat of anger and war, conflict, famine, everything being resolved. Inhale. Feel as if you had the courage to draw this in with the in-breath, like a dark, smoky vapor, like a cloud, clearing it at the sunlight of your heart, and breathing out this cool, clear breeze of healing. May you be well. May you be free of suffering. Feel the breath work with the texture as you breathe into the heart, this cloudy, and then breathe out the cool wind of clearing, wishing well, pray for peace, balance, the environment, everything. The sky is the limit here. We'll practice in silence for a couple minutes. Stay with the breath. Now releasing that visualization and just rest. Non-meditation, just be. Let go of all effort, all techniques. Just rest. Then when you're ready, start to open your eyes. Come back. Stretch your legs if you want to. Fold forward, stand up, take a few breaths to take care of your body. Stretch out. Turn on the TV. Sometimes I remember back in the day when cell phones started to be a thing, I used to teach yoga. Be like, everybody turn off your phone, because everybody's phone would always be going off. And then, of course, it'd be my phone that goes off in the class. Happened more than once. Okay. Whew. We kind of did the full survey of we did the meditation appetizer tonight, the platter of all these different techniques. Maybe some work better for you than others, So prayer, visualization, mindfulness of the breath, Tonglen, Guru Yoga. This Guru Yoga is a classic practice found within this stream of teaching of Lojong mind training. And, I really want to reclaim the name Guru, I'm just sick of the bad rap that a few bad rotten eggs gave this beautiful relationship that can happen, right? How many people have had a positive experience with your spiritual teacher? A lot of us. So let's celebrate that. I've also had a shitty relationship with a spiritual teacher, so I also know the other side. But I'm not going to let him take this away from me, I remember I almost left the Dharma because of it. But I realized I'm not going to let him win, fuck him. Nothing can get in between me and my Dharma. I hope you feel that way too, whatever your Dharma is. I mean, Dharma can be a broader term that means truth, righteousness, virtuous, phenomena. But when it's Dharma with a capital D, we're often referring to Buddha Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha. Yeah. But there's Hindu Dharma, there's any kind of Dharma. So maybe one or two questions. I want to get to this slogan. It's not going to take very long, but I feel like I need to open it to anybody want to ask a question about meditation? What we just did? Did you get it all? Did you perfect it? You understood everything? Yes, say your name for you.
Sean. And my question is, the meditation that you were calling settling the mind. I guess I'm trying to differentiate between just resting and observing the mind. is there like is it like focusing on thoughts similar to the breath?
Great question. This is a very powerful practice. It's like preliminaries to Dzogchen. It's similar to what's called Semjong, which is mind practice or mind purification, like Lojong actually, but Semjong. Sem means mind. Jong is to purify or to train. So we're training the mind. But what you may recall that when we shifted from the breath, we moved into the mind itself as the anchor. So what is that? Is that thought, or is that the awareness of thought? So when we say settling the mind in its natural state, we're shifting from the breath as the anchor to the mind itself as the anchor. And really what that is like Alan Wallace says, it's the domain of the mind. So often the feeling I get when I'm doing it is like I'm observing like an arena of the mind, or like the stage of the mind. So I'm not like looking at one thought in particular. I'm looking at this bigger, broader space of awareness. Really, it's like that arena of the mind. And then thoughts do come and play themselves out. And the practice is to unfuse from them. Like usually we're face planted with thoughts, right? We're fused with it. Like I'm this, I'm that. And we really believe our mind, our thoughts. This type of meditation helps to breathe, to open space in between those thoughts that come up and our perception of them. So we're like, oh, I don't have to believe that. Oh, look, it is impermanent, just like everything else. So yes, you are watching the thoughts bubble up, but it's like this practice of source, location, and destination. We might watch a thought or a feeling or a memory bubble up, and we observe it. We don't give it fuel. We don't grasp onto it. And what happens is when you don't reify it, meaning solidify it, grasp onto it, then it can do its little silly dance, and then it kind of gets tired because it's like a little kid who's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And you're kind of like, no, I'm not looking at you. And then it kind of goes away and does its own thing and plays with its toys. It's like we're observing in kind of a more one taste way, right? And so, yeah, the thoughts do come and go, but you're not focusing on the thought per se. You're really resting in that expansive domain of the mind. That's your anchor. Isn't that cool? It's a more spacious anchor. So when later when you receive transmission and you have pointing out instructions in the Dzogchen or Mahamudra tradition, they'll tell you, raise the gaze and mix awareness with space. So this downward cast, settling the mind in its natural state, is a beautiful preliminary to that more totally expansive practice, where if you don't know to have an anchor, if you're not steady with your meditation, you can just spend your time flailing in outer space, So I keep at it with you guys. Some people are like, I don't like meditating with my eyes open. Dude, the Buddha meditated with his eyes open. Okay? There's no sutra that says, close your eyes. I'm not saying meditating with your eyes closed is bad. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. And I'm okay with that. But then learn to meditate with your eyes open. Why? Because we're in this world. If we think we can only be mindful when we're shut off like this, you're missing the point. Okay, there's this great teaching. I read it on Instagram. I follow Sharon Salzberg. She's wonderful. She's the queen of loving kindness. She's great. And I like her Instagram because she gives beautiful teachings. It's very simple. And this post the other day really touched me. There's a picture of her as a young woman. She was with, Mahasi Sayadaw. She said when she was doing retreats with this great Burmese teacher, she did a retreat with him. They'd meditate. He'd give instructions. He'd give teachings. And afterwards, she said she'd take vigorous notes to note down all of the teachings and experiences she had so that she could share it with him in her daily interviews, because she could just maybe have 10, 15 minutes with him every day. So she said the first time she went in there with her notes and she's reporting on her meditative experiences. And he's like, yeah. No. what were you thinking when you were putting on your shoes? And she's like, oh, okay, wow. So then when next time she's putting on her shoes, she's really aware and watching her mind. And so the next day she goes into the interview and she starts to report on where she was when she was putting on her shoes. And he says, no. Where were you when you were eating? Where was your mind when you were eating? What were you thinking when you were eating? Oh, she got it. And she said it was then that her mindfulness started suffusing all of her experience. Meditating with the eyes open is a beautiful teaching about that. Like, can I be in meditative awareness when I'm looking at Eric? You know, I'm not losing my center. I'm with you mindfully, and I'm really here with you, you know. If I can do that with the floor, then I'm more likely to be doing it with you. So meditating with the eyes closed is great, but I really want to shake up this kind of like, yeah, it's common in the Thai tradition, the Burmese, the Sri Lankan, these Theravada traditions that are so beautiful. I'm totally devoted to them. I love them. But there's this sort of like almost like misperception, this little bit of a thing now with Westerners who think, oh, that's the only way. It's not the only way. Get used to meditating with the eyes open. Blink whenever you need to. Feel the eyes like limpid pools of water, they say in Dzogchen. Do you know what the name for the eyes is in Dzogchen? Liquid lasso lamps. I translated a text. Couldn't believe it. I was like, what? And Alan said, yeah, that's how, because if you think about it, the eyes go out into the world and like lasso things and bring them back in. And then we perceive them and judge them or evaluate them. And they're watery, liquid lasso lamps. And so in Dzogchen, you know, that's the whole thing of visions and Tugel and rainbow body, all of that. Like it's leading you to that. So please break out of any assumption that you can only meditate with your eyes open. Start with them closed, like the breathing, the Guru Yoga, count from 1 to 21. Then when you're done with the 21, open the eyes and settle the mind in its natural state. Watch all the silly things arise within the stage of your mind, but maintain that cool, calm awareness of the space within which those things are arising. And you might even identify awareness. That's awareness. That's Rigpa. But you got to stabilize in that. Okay. I'm going to shift gears now. Every class we usually, almost every class we go through the Lojong slogans. There's one-liners, teachings that are like beautiful aphorisms for how to integrate our life with the Dharma and the Dharma with our life. We are on slogan number 27. Who would like to read it out loud for the class? Yes, and say your name first. Brigitte.
Work with the greatest defilements first.
Oh, did I say 28?
27.
20, did I say 27? Oh, I must be. I meant 29. Sorry, 29. Abandon poisonous food. I'm so excited about this one. I mean, it's not such lofty stuff. It's practical things. Stay away from non-organic food. Okay. Now, this is Lojong. This is not like Ayurveda or a dietary class, right? So what the hell are they talking about? Yes, stay away from, toxic food, sure. But abandon poisonous food. In this case, poison is self-cherishing, self-grasping, only thinking about myself. Because that's the core of suffering, is grasping, right? The key of Dharma, what is the essence of Dharma? Don't grasp. Stop grasping. So in this abandoned poisonous food, the poison here is that self-importance, that self-grasping. And this, it's funny in the commentaries they say, like for example, like if you make a meal and you put just a little drop of poison in it, the whole meal is poisoned. So the same thing like with your life, if you've got a situation, if there's a little bit of this thing, this self-grasping or this, it's really triggered by fear, um, it can ruin the whole situation, right? It can poison your life. It's a pretty dramatic statement. In this case, the meal, the food, well, okay, in this case, the meal, like if we drop a poison, they'll drop a poison in the meal. The poison is self-grasping. The meal is bodhicitta, the practice of compassion. So it's like self-grasping can poison or hurt the development of your heart and your compassion. In Tonglen, these practices of sending and receiving, of Lojong, mind training, the main thing is developing a care, really like a reverence for others. Like, how can I be of service? How can I help you? And then diminishing, how can I help myself? Okay. And how do we do this? So it's not like these things aren't going to come up. Of course, we're going to be like, me, what about me? Those, it's fine. Like Buddhism doesn't say you're bad because you think those thoughts. Everybody has those thoughts. But it's how do we react to them? How do we work with them? Do we act on them? And so this is where mindfulness and introspection come into play. Very important tools for developing a balanced life, let alone samadhi and meditation, right? Shamatha is calm abiding. Introspection is this quality of checking in on yourself. How am I doing? What's my motivation here? Or in meditation, from time to time, turning back and saying, how am I doing? Am I drowsy? Am I dreaming, drifting? Or am I clear and wakeful? Okay, if I'm a little sleepy, then sit up straight, take a few deep breaths, invigorate, turn up the dial of the luminosity inside, right? So apply an antidote to it. Introspection also helps us, oh, here I am. I want to brag again because somehow I feel like I'm not good enough and I need to assert myself. What is my motivation? It's really nice to catch yourself when you're about to brag. Because if you catch it and you go, oh yeah, there's that part of me again, haha, and you don't do it, it feels really good. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know? That's introspection. Like, I don't need to do that. I feel actually better, and I think my relationships are better when I take a step and I go, oh, I don't need to do that. And then there's space for other things to open up. So that's introspection. And then mindfulness is that remembering, literally sati in Pali, or smrti in Sanskrit, means to remember. That's what we translate as mindfulness. Sati. Sati is to remember. What are we remembering? To be in the moment, to be with the breath. Or if the mind is your focus, to be with the domain of the mind. Or if mindful relationship, if you're talking to somebody, they're your object of attention. You are being mindful with them. So mindfulness and introspection help us not poison the food, right? Because we can see ourselves. We can feel, what's the motivation? Is it positive motivation? Okay, go with it. Negative motivation? Oh, it's kind of poisonous. Don't go with it. So make sure, they say, to check your motivation. Is it self-centered thoughts? Check your motivation before you act, before you speak. And then when I was thinking about this slogan, I also thought like literally about poison, right? So what do we consume? How do we consume things? Not just what we eat, but the media, what we take in, the news, people, what people are we around? How do those things affect us? What do we take through the senses? The eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, the tactile of touch. And how does that enhance and help us live a more balanced life or not. So what's interesting is in Ayurveda, which is the science of longevity, it's the medical science of India. It's very, very beautiful. It's a holistic approach to health and well-being. Yoga, diet, herbs, massage. It's really meditation. It's a beautiful system. And in Ayurveda, they say, there's a beautiful saying. They say, what we can digest is food. What we can digest is food. What aids in digestion is medicine. What aids in digestion is medicine. And what hinders digestion is poison. So digestion is everything. So what are we digesting? How are we digesting stimuli, people, food, all of that? Because digestion also is linked with integration. Like, how do we take it in and assimilate it? Integrate it. I'll end with a quote. The great teacher Jamgon Kongtrul, who wrote the commentary to the mind training slogans that we're studying in his book, The Great Path of Awakening. If you want some reading, I highly recommend that book, The Great Path of Awakening. And this quote is from page 33. He said, "Since all virtuous thoughts and actions motivated by clinging to a concrete reality or to a self-cherishing attitude are like poisoned food, give them up. Learn not to cling and know the phantom-like nature of experience, meaning the illusory nature of experience, the mirage of reality, the echo of sound. Really learn not to reify and cling on to people and things and thoughts and feelings, but have a more spacious approach, knowing that things are illusory. They come and they go. They're impermanent. And so all we really have is this moment. It's so cliche, but it's not cliche. I'm going to reclaim that one too. All you have is this moment. So what is in this moment? This illusory nature, non-clinging ability to be with what is here right now. It's almost like having a big yes to the world. Like, yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here. Notice this in your life. Like, are you no, 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 no? Or are you, yes, how can I turn towards this? I might not like it, but all I have is this moment. How can I bring loving awareness to everything, even sadness, depression, chronic pain? These things, sometimes we feel locked in a prison and we can't get out. Turn towards that feeling with loving awareness. Curiosity. It's called somatic tracking. It's totally based on mindfulness. Can you track? Turn towards it. Get curious with it. And turn towards it with curiosity and loving awareness and see what happens. Usually the iron bars start to dissolve. But you can't grasp onto that either. So that is medicine. The no, 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 and the clinging and the self-cherishing and me, me, me. That's the poison. So play with that this week in your life. Don't consume poisonous food. Abandon poisonous food. So it's a letting go. Don't do it anymore. See if you can let go. Big part of Dharma is about training the mind. What do we do first? We let go of unwholesome things. We let go of things that cause harm. The second step then is to adopt beneficial practices of loving kindness, compassion, generosity, all these things. So abandon all that poisonous stuff and see how you naturally become purified. It's like stopping to pollute a stream. All we have to do is stop the pollution. And over time, the running water over the rocks, scientists have proven, is a natural purifying effect. So if we abandon pumping ourselves full of poison, over time, our natural state begins to shine more. We are inherently good. We just need to stop poisoning ourselves. Not easy. And when you find yourself poisoning yourself, turn towards that with loving awareness. We're so hard on ourselves. See if you can retrain yourself, remother yourself. Turn towards with loving awareness. Oh, Om Mani Padme Hum. Let's close, dedicating the merit of our time together and our practice. Any goodness, any even little drop of goodness, we offer it up, release it into that vast ocean of positive energy and love. And in that release and dedication, it becomes limitless. Thank you. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Enjoy tea community out there, and feel free to, especially the people who are regulars, introduce yourself to somebody new. You know, if you haven't seen, oh, hey, I'm so-and-so. Is this your first time? You know, like this, we're trying to build community. If you want to feel that fabric of Sangha, feel free to stay and have some tea. Thank you, everybody. Wish you well. I'll see you next week. Oh, okay, so next week, what's the date today? 16th? So next week is the 23rd. The second class on the 30th, we're going to do Feeding Your Demons. Okay? I might even do a little art, bring a little art supplies in here, because we haven't done that yet. It's fun. And if you think about it, if you have a little art set you like to work with, you could bring it in your bag and have it here. But I'll provide some stuff too. So that's in 2 classes. We'll do Feeding Your Demons. Bring your friends, people who might be interested in trying it. Everybody's welcome. Thank you, everybody. That one fills up. It's quite popular. So sign up early for that if you intend to come. All right. Bye-bye. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.